Hey y'all, this is Amanda and welcome back to my Texas Zone 8A garden, and today we're going to be checking out all the local big box stores and comparing their bulbs that are going to be planted in the fall for spring blooms. Okay, so shopping for flower bulbs is legit one of my favorite things to do. I like to do it all in like one particular day instead of spreading it out. And the reason I like to do that is it allows me to compare a lot of different varieties of bulbs throughout the entire day and actually remember what I'm looking at and which bulbs are which. But I wanted to kind of compare 4 of the most common big box stores that I hear people buying from, including Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, and Tractor Supply Company. Now, I know there's different big box stores from state to state, city to city. These are just what's really common in my area. And so I wanted to kind of show what all they had and then compare, between store regarding prices, size of bulbs, and varieties of bulbs. All right, so let's get started off at Home Depot, and then we'll switch to Lowe's, and then Walmart, and then finally Tractor Supply Company. Okay, here's their special buy area. So we have a bag of mixed tulips, 32 count, for $20. These heights are about 18 to 22 inches, which would be really good as cut flowers. And as a reminder, I am going to be putting my tulips in a crate this year. And so I'll be showing that method as it comes up. I like this color combination. I really like these ones that are variegated. I think those are very cool. And then they do have like the standard red impressions. Now I love impression tulips. They did really, really well for me in the past, and I'm growing 4 varieties of impression tulips this year. And this is $20 for 32 as well. And these are 18 to 22 inches as well. So that'll be really nice to have that really good height for cutting. Okay, here's another bin. It looks like these are all daffodil mixes, and it's about 30 of them for 20 bucks. These are a little bit taller. It has a really nice mix. Who is the company? I can never say this name right. This is one of the largest bulb companies in the world, I believe. Product, I'm not really sure on how great their product is. You guys might have to weigh in. I've done some of these before. I'm pretty sure you can go online and look up the daffodil mix by this particular company and figure out what all these varieties are. This looks like a trumpet mix because each of them have like a really nice like trumpet throat coming out. Yeah, so this is nice too. 30 for $20, a little pricey. I feel like my ones from Costco were a little bit less expensive. I'll have to look and compare. Okay, they have their Gladiator alliums, and it's $10 for 3 bulbs. These are about 32 to 48 inches tall. I have not had good luck with Gladiator alliums in my particular garden. I do better with the Schuberti, and I did really well with a mix of bulbs from Aldi's one time that were allium bulbs, and they did really, really well. Full sun. I always find that these bloom so early now too that I don't really like the timing of alliums because they bloom before anything else is really blooming in my yard, which I think is very surprising. That's what they've done the last couple of years for me. Here's some paper whites. These are fun to go ahead and grab for any winter projects you're going to be doing. So this is 7 bulbs for $10 and 18 to 24 inches tall. There are some varieties of paper whites that don't smell as much, and of course this one is not listed on the particular variety, so I can't tell you if that one is or not. I think the bulbs are a really nice size though. Okay, here's hyacinth. I am not going to be planting hyacinth this year. All mine rotted last year and it just felt like a total waste of money. They just did not do good for me. These are $10 for 5. I'm not really going to talk much about them since I've had very little success. Here's your Dutch iris. I love planting Dutch iris. The bulbs are small for these particular iris. Let me get this out. So they're little bulbs, maybe a little over an inch tall, wide. So they're really easy to plant. There's 20 of them for $10. This is nice. I like the mix of the white and yellow. This might be really fun to get in 18 to 24 inches. These do come back year after year, but not reliably. So I feel like if I planted 20 this year, then the following spring I'd probably have 10, and then the following spring I'd probably have 5. So they kind of die off over time. Okay, over here is a crocus mix, and this is something I've been wanting to try but haven't. Something that you like put out in your yard. So I'm kind of just trying to wonder if I want to do that. It's 20 of these for $10, which seems a little bit pricey. I'd like to find a better deal, like 100 plus of these, and try planting these in my yard, like in the grass. So you guys tell me if you've done anything like that, planting them out in the grass. Now I will be picking up these tulip apricot impressions. I ordered apricot impressions from Johnny's, who was having tulip bulbs this year, and they got canceled because the weather and crop have not been good in the Netherlands. So this is 12 bulbs for $10. And these are about 18 to 22 inches tall, and I will be utilizing these for cut flowers, and I'll be planting them in a crate like we were talking about earlier. Now here's that same mix of tulip mix that was over there in the bargain bins, but so it's a less. This one called is Purple Flag. I prefer to grow Queen of Night for my purple tulip. It does really well. It's much darker than this particular tulip. This is a little bit shorter than the other ones. It's 16 to 20 inches tall. Another daffodil mix. More daffodils, golden ducat, replete. This is a fun one. I really like it. It's very pretty. And I've got these growing in my garden, and I've been very happy with them. This one is really pretty. It was kind of like a salmony, not pink, but salmon center. Those are really pretty. Those are 14 to 18, and it says it naturalizes well. I haven't grown those before. Those are really nice. And it looks like this side is all the same. Oh, here's one that's a little different. This pastel mix right here of tulips. 16 to 24 inches. Looks like it includes some whites and pinks. That one's pretty too. I will say with my tulips in my area, I buy them now and they go into the refrigerator for at least 8 weeks, hopefully up to 12 weeks before they get planted outside. They do need that cold period of spell since we do not have consistent cold temperatures for at least 12 weeks in our area. Okay, look at these pumpkins. They're called mellow yellow pumpkins. They're real pumpkins. Isn't that a fun color? $15 to $17 each. That's a lot. I'm cheap about my pumpkins. But this is a really cool color. Can't believe pumpkins are out already. I love all the gourds. That's pretty much my favorite. Their gourds are $9 to $11. The best place and best price I've found gourds is at Walmart. They have a lot of the fairy tale pumpkins and such, which are really cool. Okay, here we are at Lowe's, and they have this new line called Color Fusions. So it's like a mix. So here's a mix of tulips, but then here's a mix of tulips and daffodils, tulips, daffodils, and hyacinth. So that's really interesting. These look like the same variety that we just saw over at Home Depot. Let's see. Look for the brand. Yep, same brand right there. Good to know. Okay, so let's compare the price. $13 for 20, so relatively the same price. So we've looked at those. This is pretty. Raging Beauties blend. So kind of like a candy cane setup. I do hate that I have to flip over to see specifics. This guy is about 16 to 22 inches tall. That'd be good for cutting. This is beautiful. Peachy King blend. So we have, I bet I can look it up to find out what these two varieties are. I'll look it up, but it looks like a double tulip, and then potentially, it's not replete, but I can't remember what that one is. Summer Breeze blend. This one's interesting with the tulip, daffodil, and hyacinth. Look how pretty that is. Interesting. Have an iris, crocus, And I cannot say the last two ones. Y'all know I'm gonna butcher that. Daffodils mixed with blue. More daffodils, more hyacinths all down here. Oh, I like the daffodil in the scarf. That's pretty. 30 plants. Let's see what we can see back there. So obviously the larger ones are the daffodils, and these actually like a pretty small daffodil bulbs, so this must be a smaller variety of daffodil. Yeah, only 4 to 12 inches tall. They're still super sweet. And the muscari, those are only 4 to 6 inches tall, so that shows you how small those daffodils are. So very petite and sweet. That's kind of cool. Okay, here's some more varieties over here. Trying to see which ones. Oh, the tete. These are fun because they're such small, sweet little ones. They're really great in containers. These might be fun just to play with. 6 to 10 inches tall. I could go ahead and plant up some containers now and they would be ready for the spring. I like those a lot. This tulip's really pretty. Here's yellow cheerfulness. These look similar to the early cheer bulbs, but they don't have as many blooms on each stem. Anemones, fritillaria, I've never grown those. Freesia, I've never grown. Y'all know I love the Dutch iris. The Tahiti is very cool down here. Look at these. Might be fun to get some stuff and to plant up a couple of containers of just solid daffodils. That would be really fun for the spring. I might do that. Dutch Master. Here's the replete. And then a double mix. Okay, it's kind of tight over here for the iris. I would like to get some more iris. As y'all know, I ordered from Shriners iris this last year and I really enjoyed them. This guy is very cool. Concertina. Has anybody grown concertina before? It's $5 for one plant. It's important to kind of come in the back here and like squeeze it. Is it dried? Is it mushy? What is it? $5 for one plant's not bad. I don't feel like these are overly large plants, but I do love like that soft little blue purple tone. I think it's very pretty. Presby's Crown Jewel is pretty cool. Decadence, no, I don't like that one as much. Redneck Girl, that's pretty. Look at that. The photo makes it look like almost iridescent. I'll still check to see if there's a little bit of like green to these. It's pretty. Shark Dressed Man. Full Tide. I doubt it's that blue. Y'all tell me. Has anybody grown Full Tide is actually that serious blue? Or did they just adjust the photo? Because I find that a lot of people adjust the photo. Dangerous Mood I think is really pretty. I like flowers that have like a black tone to them. I think that's really neat. $5. I mean, I don't feel guilty about $5. All right, more alliums. So these are Purple Sensation, a little bit smaller and simpler than the gladiators that we just looked at. Like I said, I haven't had a lot of luck with a lot of varieties. I like the Schuberti and the Drumstick do really well in my area. Crocus. Oh, Ice Follies. Ice Follies are really good for our area, North Texas area. I have these all over my garden. Feels a little pricey. They still look really good though. These are nice size big bulbs. And then they just have the massive bags of daffodils, a traditional yellow trumpet daffodil, 40 bulbs for $20. So great. And these are, look at these guys. These are massive. Very cool. I like them. Okay, so now we're here at Walmart. So let's check out the variety again. So once again, by the same company. These are, let's see. Looking at the centimeter of the bulbs. So these are your Purple Sensation alliums, 5 for $3.24. Got the crocus mix again. the Dutch Iris mix, which seems less expensive, but they might be slightly smaller bulbs, but I don't know, they look about the same to me, in my opinion. Tulips, Appledorn's Elite. I've never grown that variety before. This one is Spring Break. This is really pretty. It says it's a border variety, so let's see how short it is. No, it's 16 to 22 inches tall. Bulbs are a good size. Maybe it's slightly smaller. 5 bulbs for $3.24. This one is Mystic Van Eyck. It's pretty. Very different. These are 18 to 24 inches tall. 5 bulbs for $3.24. Here's the hyacinth if you're looking for those. This one is Happy Generation. This looks kind of like a peppermint stick, but has a little bit of yellow in it. Height is 16 to 22 inches. Those are pretty. I like those. These are very cool. Garoda. Look at those. It's like a burgundy with like yellow cream edges. Wow. 16 to 20 inches. Those are very cool. I like those a lot. Might get some of those. Here's your red impression that we saw at, I think we saw these, I can't remember if it was Home Depot or Lowe's. But remember, I do like to grow the impression varieties because they do really well in our area, 18 to 22 inches. Here's that same mix, and now they're calling it Darwin Hybrid Mix, but it's the same mix we saw at the other 2 stores. And here's your same daffodil mix that we saw at the other 2 stores. Another daffodil called King Alfred type. And then of course the replete, which we've also seen as well. So comparison, it seems like these are just a touch cheaper, but I will say the bulbs feel a little bit smaller. Okay, here's something you want to be looking at. So, like when you're squeezing them, it needs to be nice and firm, right? You can get pressure. Like this guy over here, see this bulb? See that? That bulb's going to give you nothing. It's a waste of money. So that's what you really need to be considering. Nice firm bulb, like that. And then these that are just squishy and mushy. Those aren't good. Okay, and then last location, we are at Tractor Supply Company. And I think this is the same. Oh, no, this is a little different. Keukenhof Holland. But I see pretty much all the same varieties. That's a Darwin Hybrid blend with the exact same colors. The red impression, it looks like it's 8 bulbs for $9. So it's a little bit pricier here. The Purple Pride, which we've seen. I don't know if we saw the Daydream or not. Here we have the Ice King, not the Ice Folly. So this is actually bigger. The Ice Kings are the replete. The Sempre Avante, that's the one that had that kind of salmon throat. Daffodil Trumpet Blend. The Purple Sensation Alliums. Here is the Paperwhites. It's the Ziva, and the Ziva is the one that smells very intently. The Dutch Iris, and more Daffodil Blend. And then here's the King Alfred, 26 bulbs for $17 as well. And this is a pretty good price, the 30 bulbs for $16.99 as well. So the company is a different company. Ironically, oh, I take it back. Y'all, look. Oh, I dropped it. So I was like, oh, it's Keukenhof Holland. No. It's the same company. I just looked at the wrong place. So the same company, 4 different stores, same company. All right. It's good to know. Ironically, all the prices are a little bit different. Okay, so it was really fun going through all the varieties of bulbs at the multiple stores. I did purchase quite a few to work with. They're all for very particular reasons and very particular projects. First, I'm just going to go ahead and start with the apricot impression tulips. I got 12 of these for $10, and they're 12 plus centimeter bulbs. Thought the bulbs are a really good size in here. Everything felt really good. I enjoy growing the impression tulips. They do really well in my area, and I had ordered these along with some other varieties from Johnny's Select Seeds, and these got canceled. And so seeing these in the store, it's a little bit more than what I paid through Johnny's, but I really wanted to grow this variety this year, so I did pick up these particular bulbs. Okay, the other variety of bulbs I picked up were from Walmart, and this variety is called Gavota, G-A-V-O-T-A, and these are brand new for me. I've never grown these before. They're about 16 to 20 inches tall. I thought that they looked very cool with this kind of red wine color and kind of they get creamy yellow margins. So they're really good for cut flowers. And so this will be really good to try out. The tulips I'm going to be trying out in crates. That'll be a video probably in November. I think it's important to go, if you're in my area, buy all your tulip bulbs now, because you do need to go ahead and put them in the refrigerator so that they can pre-chill 8 to 12 weeks. 12 weeks is better, 8 is the minimum. And so I've already got some of my varieties in the refrigerator, and then these will be added in there. When you put them in the refrigerator, I go ahead and pull mine out. I'll pull off this part right here, and then I'll just write what the variety is on the actual bag, and then I'll leave them on the bag and make sure they're out in a single layer in the refrigerator outside in the garage. And then I'll get back to these probably sometime in November going into December, and I'll show you all how I'm going to pack them into the crates. The next project is for Dutch Iris. Dutch Iris are one of my favorite early spring cut flowers. I have planted these multiple times over the years, and I will say every year I feel like it comes back, like less than 50% come back, which is fine. I mean, I still get some great ones back, but I did like this mix. I usually just do the really dark purple ones, but this mix has white, yellow, blue, and purple. And I thought that would be kind of fun to do this year. It's 10 bulbs for $3.24. I bought 4 packages, so I have 40 bulbs. And I think I'm going to work this into the front portion of the garden where I just removed all that liatris. I thought this might be really fun to have right there at the beginning of the season, especially when I have a lot of daffodils starting to bloom, muscari. I'll have some tulips out there. But I thought these might be really fun and bright for the spring, and they're excellent as cut flowers. Now, I also got 2 new varieties of iris to try out. The first one is a bearded iris. It's called Redneck Girl. It's one plant for $4.98. These are technically, I believe, rhizomes. It's about 34 to 48 inches tall, and I did plant some varieties of iris last year that I got from Shriners, and they've done beautifully. I was shocked at how much I like them because I don't typically like bearded iris. So I was really surprised that I like these so much. But basically, I wanted to just start this variety. It almost has an iridescent quality to it. It's a dark kind of burgundy red tone with a little bitty like purple detailing. And then this other variety, which is called Concertina, is one plant for $4.98. It's kind of got like a very creamy apricot yellow tone with a little bit of kind of purplish blue detailing. And this guy is about 25 to 29 inches. So much shorter than this one. This one's about 10 to 15 inches taller than this variety. So it might be really fun to kind of stagger them. It might be really cool. So I'll have to figure out where I'm going to put these in the garden, and I will get these planted this fall. Okay, and then the last project I am going to, and I usually every year I add a whole bunch of daffodils into the actual landscape, into the actual garden beds. And this year I thought that I would play off of an idea I tried last year. Last year I tried to plant a whole bunch of bulbs into a bunch of containers, but I focused on hyacinth and tulip. Well, most of my hyacinth ended up rotting, and I got almost nothing from them. And then my tulips were a struggle, just because tulips are kind of a struggle here. They all bloomed at different times, so only ever had one pot at a time blooming. So I thought, well, let me go with a more reliable bulb in my area, and that is daffodils. Now, I have lots of varieties of daffodils throughout my entire garden, including can-cans, Early Cheers, Mount Hood, Ice Follies, just so many different varieties. And I've really enjoyed daffodils over the year. They add a lot to my landscape when nothing much else is going on in the spring. early spring. So this year I'm going to mess around with the daffodils in the containers. So I started with, let's see, I got several different varieties. The first variety I got is the really big container of daffodil bulbs, and I got 40 bulbs for $20, and it's just a very like simple classic yellow trumpet. And those will be really fun, especially for filling some larger containers with just solid daffodil bulbs. Now, secondly, I got the Tete, which is one of my favorite little daffodil bulbs. They're very sweet, short little blooms, only 6 to 10 inches tall plants. And so like this one over here, oh, it's not giving me the height, but they are, 14 to 20 inches. So this is like a third of the size. And so this will be really fun to plant in some smaller little containers that'll be towards the front of my design. And I got 2 packages of the Tete. And then next I got the Tahiti. This is a double daffodil, and it's all yellow with a touch of kind of salmon kind of orange color in it. And it was $8 for 12 bulbs, and these are about 12 to 18 inches tall. And then finally, I got this fun mix because I did discover Muscari last year, and I really love Muscari, and I already bought a bunch of Muscari bulbs to add to a different area of the garden. But this was at Lowe's this year. It's called Color Fusions, and they go ahead and pre-put together a mix of bulbs for you to achieve a particular look. So this was 30 bulbs for $13, and it's a mix of daffodils and Muscari. Now, the daffodils are of a shorter variety in here. I don't think it lists the exact variety, so I'll have to see if I can look it up. I actually think it looks a lot like the Tete, but the color is a little bit different, has a little bit more orange on the bulb, on the center trumpet, and then it has the Muscari. And so I think that'll be a really nice mix, also to add a little bit of contrast to the daffodil bulbs. Now, with that being said, I'm going to put up a few pictures while I continue talking of kind of my idea for what these daffodils are going to look like. I am wanting to start them all, plant them up. I'll probably plant them up in end of October going into November, and I'll do a whole video on that. And I'll put them up, plant them up in containers, and then I will put them out into my garden to just overwinter. They'll get rainwater, all that kind of stuff, and they'll just naturalize the outside. And then I would also really like to, I have a lot of yellow right here. I would like to add a few different varieties of daffodil bulbs that are a little bit more of a contrasting color, like the whites or the pinks. So I think that'll be a really nice addition to continue shopping for. I am also going to go to the smaller nurseries like Callaway's in our area, Nicholson and Hardy. I'll swing over to Green Acres and see what they have. So I am going to try some other nurseries and checking out their bulbs, and I'll be sure to post a video on that as well. But I wanted to share with you what I had found. The comparison between the 4 stores, really they all have pretty much the same company. They all did have the same company. So they're all the same quality of bulbs. The prices varied just a little bit, not too much. I found that the most expensive was Tractor Supply Company. Second most expensive was Lowe's. Third most expensive was Home Depot, and the least expensive was Walmart. However, with the Walmart bulbs, they tended to be a little bit smaller bulbs, and the bulbs are measured in particular centimeters for the size of the bulb. The bigger the bulb, the higher the quality, and the more expensive it is. So while you could get the same bulbs between most of the stores, just the more expensive ones had the larger bulbs, and then like Walmart had the smaller bulbs. But still, if you're on a budget and you want to buy the smaller bulbs from Walmart, great, that's wonderful. Whatever's going to work for your budget and your vision and your garden, that's the point. And it was really fun just running around and showing you guys everything that they had today. And like I said, shopping for bulbs is so fun, and I feel like planting bulbs is not something I really enjoy, but then when the spring comes around and they start coming up out of the ground, it fills me with just such a sense of urgency and delight for the spring. So I absolutely love it. All right, y'all, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching me shop around and seeing what bulbs I've selected for my upcoming projects. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when my latest videos are up. And be sure you check me out on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. As always, she's a mad gardener or decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.